Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57. And this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bills and the Rams, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on the NFC champions, the Los Angeles Rams. Here's Powell on the return, and they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
And this one is incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Hunter Nicewander on a punt as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Throwing on first down is Allen. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Touchdown, Bills! Stephon Diggs with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Bills are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return is Powell. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Here's Powell on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw is Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Hey, look at this. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Middle. Look behind.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. A give running right is Akers. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Stafford's throw here, hauled in by Kupp. first down. Akers. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 2nd and 9, Allen flushed out right. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with 3rd down looming. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Singletary. And he's going to have a Bills first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Let's go.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now they'll throw with Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 37. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big gain there for the Bills. As a defense, what a nuisance when you look on the other side and they've got a tight end that can run a post route like that.
And you felt the ground shake, didn't you? Oh, even all the way up here in this booth. How about when he grabbed the football? You could see the terror as everyone was thinking, do I even want to try and tackle that big man?
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They run here with Singletary, and he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Bills continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The return is Powell. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. Open man, Higbee, the tight end.
Keep on coming, baby. Keep coming.
Stafford on 3rd down. On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Past the 20.
There it is.
And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. That pick-6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Powell on the return. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Yeah, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Gay's kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Let's go, boys.
So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Buffalo in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Rams, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break. But we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them, so what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Let's go.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Singletary here running out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Rams go nickel here defensively on third.
Let's go, D, let's go.
Allen steps away to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 63 yards. And the Bills are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Oh, the return is Powell. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On first down at Stafford. He stiff-arms him, fights loose. Akers has got the first down and then some. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, out of my way, and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. From the 50, Stafford. This is caught by Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, baby.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. On the give, this is Akers. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Mike, 49. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. 49.
Now Stafford. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to have a Rams first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Stafford. That's complete to Robinson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Stafford on 1st down. Got a man. It's Higbee, complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
22.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Here we go.
Stafford. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Double right. Zebra.
Akers will score. Touchdown, L.A. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And he gets it to go to make this a 35-10 score now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was Cam Akers who capped it off with a touchdown.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Buffalo offense back out ready to go.
Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Now Allen on the move to his left. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Bills are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. For Stephon Diggs, he can do a lot of things, CD. He can be a possession-type receiver. He can take the top off a defense, or he can do what we saw right there, make a catch, and then turn it into a big game.
Yeah, and that was sheer determination right there. He decided before the play, if there was a sliver, he was going to take advantage of it. Looked the ball in, turned on the jets, and took it all the way.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Powell on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. A quick pass to Kupp. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, he'll get this one to Kupp, complete. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st down, Stafford here. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Rams get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
And that's another route the defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Now it's Crowder. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh, yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. So Allen's going to look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. On the return is Powell. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. L.A. set to take over again on offense.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills.
They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Read it well, and it's picked. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
We all kneel. We all kneel. Easy alert. Go 58's the mic. I got him. White. Double up.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
49.
70.
Mike, 49. Pick me up. Here we go. 49's the mic.
A shotgun snap for Stafford.
That's out to the flat for Akers.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
2nd down and 5.
58's the mic. You want this. 58.
From the 50, it's Stafford. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.